Welcome to Vaygrim's Chance. A Friday episode. I'm sorry there was not a Wednesday episode. Comcast had a crisis of function and decided they didn't want to work. Actually, decide that I don't like that in microblog. Is recombine all that nonsense. Yep. There we go. I am working on the trade depot. Let's get the black blocks. I want let's get these and turn them back into these, turn these back into those. What? No. Those back into those. There we go. 4 blocks. Turns into a whole stack of these things. These are anti-blocks from Chisel. And I wanted something that was like, solid color, textureless, but I forgot they have a black outline if you use any of the colored ones. And I'm not real fabulous on that. Yeah. This building is still not really built yet, and I need to figure out what I want to do with it, but it's going to be a very vertical design. I have made progress here, though, despite having about 3 days during this week that basically I had no internet service. I did still manage to be productive earlier in the week on this project. I'm hoping that all of you are having a good week. Let's see, in the scheme of things for me right now, Tuesday night, really Monday, Comcast started having, that's who I have my internet with, and they're horrible. The choice I have in my area is AT&T, and they want not twice, but 3 times the amount of money for half the connection speed, and I literally cannot afford AT&T. Or Comcast. Those are my 2 choices. I have no other options. It is almost the epitome of monopoly over here. Glass of water. So Monday afternoon, Comcast started having major network connection problems. Come on, Chair, cooperate. Comcast started having major connection problems, and it got worse and worse over the course of Tuesday morning into Tuesday evening. By Tuesday evening, I really couldn't do much of anything. I couldn't stay connected to this server. I just want to say, by the way, before I get too distracted, I really love the fact that I can see the shadow of the observatory looming over the actual shape of things here. In the distance. I think that's really cool. It's one of the things I really shot for, and I wanted to have that whole just kind of like boom line up thing. I think it's neat. Anyway, by Tuesday afternoon, I was really dead in the water. I really couldn't connect to anything. It was pretty bad. And yeah, I wasn't a happy camper. Wednesday, I could barely watch like Hulu or Netflix or YouTube. The buffering was so bad. Any server I stepped onto, I was probably going to get disconnected within 30 seconds. These servers I couldn't even connect to. Anything on the East Coast that was like totally shot. So thankfully by Thursday morning, though, a lot of stuff got ironed out and figured out, and it just kind of generally started working, which made me very, very happy. So here I am, able to get back to work. So instead of going up, I was going to have a vertical. This is going to be a vertical building. It's probably going to be like 4 stories, 5 stories. I would like to hide some auto crafting in it. I would like to hide some processing. And in general, stuff like that. So it's going to be a very tall, kind of a vertical building. I'm probably going to put some shapes on top to mock up like storage or power storage or something like that, Part of me wants to build right here. I want to do a road that goes off that direction, like a path. And I want to have a building over here that I want to actually make as kind of a dish, a satellite dish that's firing off that way. Big thing, as big as I can make it reasonably, where it doesn't just completely obstruct the view. I'm hoping like 16 blocks across, maybe curved up to 20. That could be really cool. So just kind of like option number 2 is I curve that all the way up and I put that up there, which is actually to me a better idea because then let's go up here. I can actually plant it right here. Somebody founded a base at spawn here when we started off the server. I think that's IA7X Shadows server. I mean, house. But he's been so busy, he hasn't stepped back on and he kind of left it. So I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. I'm thinking I could flatten this out a little bit, do a small building with a dish right next to it. We could aim up the dish straight off over the ocean that way. I think that could be really cool. And we could have a path that wound over here up the side of the mountain. That could be really nice. I like the idea of that. I want to put on this side, this is going to go out to probably right over here in this area. I want to put a kind of a farm looking, kind of a rural place. If anybody is harvesting and growing animals, you know, if they're breeding animals, then they could always ship them in and have them offloaded here for other people to wrangle them up, stuff like that. But this is going to be a tall building. So I didn't want to have this right next to it. That seemed kind of lopsided. I don't mind the idea of this thing being the odd building out. That's going to be a one-story building. I just haven't built the roof on it yet. And I'm still unsure as to what I want to put in here. Part of me wants to just mock up kind of a security office or an armory. You know, fake guns on the walls and stuff like that. I think it could be really cool. Racks for things. But this is going to be a maybe a 2-story building, tops. 1-story building. This is going to be a big, tall, I didn't want all the tall buildings on this side. So instead of making this 2 or 3 stories, I arched this up a little bit just to separate it from that one, make it look a little different. And I went down. This is a gravity lift that has been donated by Trunks 9809, I believe. And it's basically an elevator. Woo! All of the machines that were in the workspace within the BDE have been moved down here. And people are being encouraged. You go over here. We got this room, which is basically the new hub. This is the receiving point, the trade depot. They can find it on the teleporters. And then I have a teleporter. This is Trunks' teleporter. This one is to the Dark Preacher. We can put one here for Ferg. Let me think. Sean W. Com, Greylock. We got a couple of extras that will go maybe to like the end and stuff like that. We're gonna have one here. That's supposed to be an open thing. Here we go. So yeah, we got a lot of space for future growth. I think I kind of like how this came out. However, I really need to do something about the roof. So what I'm going to do, I think, is get some anti-blocks and do a kind of a pattern in the ceiling with covers, like almost like tiles in the ceiling, and just do a simple kind of a, you know, a bright kind of a pattern of individual squares. I think it could look really, really cool. Option number 2 is I get some colored clay and use layers of that to kind of make a mosaic thing on the ceiling. I want to do the same kind of a thing. Whatever I do in there on the ceiling, I want to do it in here. I kind of like the ideas of the walls being a little boring, being a little dull. But when you get inside and you look up, it's like, oh, there's this pretty thing up there. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. Still working on that. But down here, I have moved all of the BDE stuff, the community stuff, since people now can teleport to here as a central hub instead of having to go to the BDE engineering floor, then walk up to the habitat ring, use the machines, walk down, teleport out. Now it's a little bit easier to get around. I have beefed up the QED. It's looking very, very nice. This is the laser room, beefed up the lasers we have on this. So now we will do some future robot BC stuff very quickly. These are technically mine, but I'm not using enough of them. And I'm pretty good on resources. I'm just going to leave them there for community use. The one thing that I love about slightly larger chests from Extra Utilities is that they don't require headroom clearance. I love these things. I hope they get added to the Extra Utilities 2 in 189. But we've got standard processing for anybody that still needs it, but I think pretty much everybody's gone along at that point in time. For now, I think this is probably going to be anybody that needs Ender IO specialty ores, but doesn't have Ender IO machines yet, and they've just been putting it off. They can come down here and do it. A lot of people haven't built any of these yet, so they're still using these, which is very, very good. I like that. That is the public transmutation table. There's still a couple of slots here. What I'm going to do is get that power and pull it around. Whoa, pull it around here and have all of the machines, at least some of the machines for mechanism over here. And then I actually still have space either for some rooms here, or we could put some thermal expansion machines around the side here. You know, community stuff. I think what I might do, I'm considering over here is we're going to have a little armory, but I think it would be really cool if we hid like a block and just have a switch, like a button. You press that button and this pulls back, you drop down, and we could hide like a big tier 5 altar under this, like a blood magic altar. And I think it could be really, really cool. I like that idea. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it because this is technically public space, and I don't want to build my altar under public space, but we'll see. Yes, this is, as I said, probably going to be vending machines right now. There's one really amazing vending machine idea submitted by Vexitos, but it is Open Computers. He has it designed and automated to where, you know, it's just a program I download, but if anything goes wrong, if there's any hitch, I can't easily fix it myself. So part of me thinks that I'm probably just going to end up using some personal LP systems. We're just going to have a single LP system here, another one here, another one here, and we're just going to have to make notes, put a little sign on the front of your terminal or on the front of your chest or whatever that says, hey, I need this kind of thing, you know, and I am selling this kind or whatever. I'm still figuring all the dynamics out, but basically that's what I think we're probably going to end up doing. And we could fit a whole bunch of them over here. And on this wall, all the higher floors are going to be storage and automation for things. Yes. Another thing we could do down here is we could pop a wall out right here. I mean, a door out right here. And we could put community power back behind this corner. We could put a big reactor and have everybody contribute Yellorium on a regular basis to keep it fueled. Then we could just pipe out the power to public and have everybody use it. But so many people have already got extensive power systems that I'm not sure there's a point to that anymore. Yeah, we'll see though. We'll see. We're experimenting. Let's go back over here. Woo, this asphalt stuff is weird. And I want to go back up into the ship real quick, actually. Woo. Thump. Forgot. I'm still getting used to this. And here we are. We are up in the garden at the top. I still haven't done any more silverwoods yet. I want to make sure I have a tool that will give me more saplings per leaf break before I break that thing down. Or that I have more saplings. We'll see, though. I haven't had a chance, since a big chunk of my week has been kind of hosed by connectivity issues. I haven't really had a chance to do much. One thing that I wanted to do before I got too sidetracked on things and we get to episode 30 and I've forgotten already, I wanted to look at a mod called Gear Swapper that I think we are supposed to have. Yep, Gear Swap. There it is. So there's different ones that do different things. I think, honestly, the only real difference, let's see, do I have any chests? I'm actually gonna need, let's just get 2 of those for right now. I can request a differential on that one. That's easy. And get that. Clear that. And we're going to do. Get the chest. Then it is a simple issue of requesting the difference, and that's 7 iron ingots. And here we go, Gear Swapper. This thing, it's empty. Where do I want to put you? And I think I want to use a slightly better looking chest. I do have an iron chest. Hey. So what I want to do is I'm going to put this right here. That still opens up. Actually, I think the chest has to be on top. I can't remember though. Anyway, if you look in the bottom left corner of this thing, it says settings, right? You just right click on it and you get this weird thing, right? So we are looking at, oh gosh, I'm going to do that for the symbol. Gonna be empty. Let's see. I think there's empty or there's ignore. We're going to put that there. Stack of hamburgers there. That there. And it will remember. So I think technically if I do shift right click. Yeah, okay. So we do settings, it remembers. Wait a minute. This is a little dicey. I don't know why, but it didn't put my... Let's get this. That goes up here. That goes up there. Oh, golly gee willikers. Is that everything? Yep, everything is kicking on and off. Nice and easy. So what we can do is normally when I take everything off, like I'm going to right click on this empty slot, right? And then we go to settings. All my stuff has been dumped into my inventory. It's actually not what I want to do. What I want to do, I'm going to make one that is literally everything gets taken off. And that's going to be my basically getting ready for an episode 1. So there's priority, right? And what we want to do is we want to set priority is to the storage at the top. Then priority 2 is export inventory to these slots down here. Then if there's still no space, so if the chest is full, the chest on top is full, it'll put stuff here. If this is full, it'll put stuff in the player inventory. And that's what we actually want. So now, if I come up here and right click on this, everything has been taken off my hotbar, right? Everything has been taken off of it's all right here, which means I can right click on this and put it all back. So all I have to do when I get ready for a download episode, put that there. That's a spare thing. I'm not using that for right now. We can put that down. I do keep that on me. Yeah. So I don't think that works. Does this work on any? Oh, it does. Oh my God. Okay. Well, let's put it in the belt slot and see what happens. That should keep things repaired in theory. So now, if we, yeah. So now we go like this. All that stuff's in there. I have nothing on here, nothing on here, nothing on here. And boom. So very cool stuff. I really do love this. It's going to be a great addition for when I get ready for the 10 episode marks. Every 10 episodes, we do a world download. I can come over here. Now, option number 2 is that I can actually have different sets of armor that are good for different things. I could, let's say, make a set of red matter armor from Project E and put that on this and only save it, only use it for boss fights, you know? Or I could do a set of robes for all of my Thaumcraft stuff and actually come in here and swap these out and then go do magic-y stuff and get all the discounts from the armor and then come back and swap to this. Nice and easy. It's cool. Right click up here. It's all empty. So when I store it, whoops, you'll be able to come up here and grab all of this stuff and just put it on. Nice and simple. So I wanted to do that for quite a while. It's been one of those things that I'm actually really happy that I finally remembered to put it down and put it to use. Before I forget, let's go back to the depot. We started there on this episode. Let's end there. Um, I don't like this roof, but I'm kind of stumped as to what I want to do with it. Now, option number one is I do similar to what I did here. And these are laboratory blocks. It's this right here. It's called floor. I divided it up into pillars, microblock pillars, so that I could actually get this kind of subdivided block design, you know? It looks like it's smaller blocks just stacked on top of each other, and I really like that. To break up the edge here and kind of give it a bit more of a, not a rounded, but less of a kind of a hard square feel. Did the same thing over here. But in terms of the roofing, I don't want to just pull that up and across. It's going to look almost like a, you know, like a, you got a spider web and set it on a marshmallow or something. I don't know how to describe it. It'll look like a lattice work that's resting on top of the building, and I'm not sure I like that. Now, option number two is I could come up here with slopes and kind of curve this all out, but that is going to differentiate it quite a bit from that. So still not sure what's going on. I don't know how I want to do the roofs for these buildings because I'm going to need to do it to that one and to that one, but I want to find a consistent design, so I'm going to experiment with that over the next couple of days. The train depot. Trunks 9809 has volunteered to actually build a train depot. He's built a really wonderful one at his place, actually. I didn't realize. Tell you what, let's go there real quick. Kersploot. Here we go. Okay, this is his biodome complex. I'm going to zoom the mini-map out in the top right corner and wait for the frickin' world to pop in. Come on. I don't know what that is. So yeah, you come up over here and you see he's got this biodome complex. This is in the middle of a desert. He's got this biodome over here. He's got, I think his railcraft stuff there. He's got, oh gosh, engineering bay over there. That's the arboretum kind of thing. More stuff's happening over here. I think this is witchery or gardening. I can't remember which. But if you go over here, let's see if we can turn this off. Plunk. Go up the slopes. Dun, 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 dun. He did an amazing job. Hi, Piggy. He really did an amazing job. This is his train station. He made this specifically for relaying carts in and out to everybody's bases. Now, part of me thinks, why do we want to make one, a big train station at the train depot, when he's already made this here? The only exception that I can think to this is the fact that here's Trunks. And where's everybody else? I got to remember. Yeah. Oh, I put that off. That's not correct. Okay. I mean, I'm having a hard time finding. So let me look at a compass direction real quick. Spawn is, okay, so everything is that way, which means now we go all this way. All this way. This is Preacher. I'm just now hitting the outer peripheries of Preacher's territory. We go down here, and like Shoop Island is down there. Ferg is down here, so I would have to go through Ferg's base, through Preacher's base, to the train station at Trunks in order to go to somebody else's. So I do think this is a better central spot. I really don't want to make him build a second one, but he has volunteered. I just want to show you guys this. It really is an amazing build. He's going to have carts coming in and going out to all sorts of destinations here, and it's really just gorgeous. I'm going to, you do warp spawn. I didn't set a warp spawn. Wow, that's sad. Okay. Well, let's go back over here and find the right dome with the teleporters. If I remember right, it's this one. And his engineering dome is like multiple layers deep. It's crazy. We're going to do a legit tour of this place later. Not now, but I wanted to show you the train station. I'll show you the rest of it later. It will blow your mind. That's just like a tease. So yeah, lots of ideas, lots of notions. Still want to figure out how I want to do this. But he volunteered to do a big kind of a vertical, an egg-shaped train station, train depot. If he did it vertical, then we would use elevator tracks, and we would have the actual stopping, loading, and unloading platforms stacked vertically. And I actually think that's a brilliant idea. He could make it a kind of an egg that's kind of glass and kind of the stained glass kind of thing that he used, but mimic that same kind of shape as the BDE, so it will look like that same kind of tech. In the meantime, what I think the best thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get the roofs of these buildings and I'm going to stretch them up a little bit and make them look a little bit more dome and a little bit more rounded. In the meantime, I hope all the rest of you actually have a great weekend. Thank you very much for joining me on a Friday episode of Vaygrim's Chance. I will catch you folks later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.